Hey everyone, before we start, I just want to talk about Riven's runes and items. So the first item that I would go for is Black Cleaver. The reason why is that it synergizes well with her kit. It gives HP, damage, ability haste, as well as armor shred, which works on all of her abilities. Then we go for the Divine Sunder, one of the newer items for Riven. The reason why is that it also synergizes well with her kit. It makes her even more tankier, gives damage, ability haste, as well as a Spellblade passive, which she could easily proc with her kit. After this, we go with the Mercury Stasis. The reason why we go for the Stasis enchantment is that it allows us to outplay our opponent as well as buy time for our team when we engage. So you could go for the Plated Steel Caps if they are AD heavy, but if you would want to be more aggressive, you could go for the Proto Belt enchant instead, and this is a better enchant if you're ahead or you want to be more aggressive in team fights, but it's a lot more riskier. Then we go for the Death's Dance. So what's good about this item is that it synergizes well with Riven's kit as well. It gives us AD, armor, and even more ability haste, makes us a bit more tankier, and we get our HP back if we're able to score takedowns. After this, we go for the Guardian's Angel. So this is a really good item for Riven, especially when in the late game, we're able to buy time, get more damage, and be a bit more tanky. Last item is very flexible for Riven. You could go for the Mortal Reminder if you would want more damage. You could go for the Sterak's Gauge if you want damage and a bit more durability. Or you could go for the Randuin's Omen if you just want more durability in general. So it's up to you on what you want to pick. But generally, I would go for the Mortal Reminder to maximize your damage. Next, we go to the runes. The first rune that I would go for is Conqueror, Bread and Butter. Really easy to stack. For obvious reasons, you would always get this rune. After this, we go for the Triumph. So this is really good when you get the resets. You get, not only do you get your HP back, you also get additional damage on your execute, which would make your ulti second cast stronger. But if you don't want to go for Triumph, another alternative would be the Hunter Vampirism. This is really good because you're able to get lifesteal when you spam your skills and makes you a bit more sticky in team fights. And it also gives some AD. After this, we go for the Hunter Titan. Gives HP as well as tenacity. But if they don't have much crowd control in their kit, you could go for the Nullifying Orb instead to make you more tankier. The last one that we would go for is Hunter Genius. We would want to focus on Riven's cooldown, so we go for this rune instead of the Pathfinder, since inherently Riven's move speed is really fast if you spam her first and third skill, and Hunter Genius would make the cooldowns even faster. So that is it for Riven's runes and items, and with that, I will see you guys in game. Going to the game, I will be showcasing Riven's latest skin, which is DAWNBRINGER RIVEN, as well as showing some of her jungle gameplay. In this matchup, we are currently up against Olaf, and in a Riven vs Olaf matchup, this is favorable towards the Olaf in the early stages of the game, but once we get to the mid to late, it would favor the Riven because we would be able to outscale the Olaf properly. And here I do the level 1 control ward trick, switch to my control ward one side of the map, then immediately recall to my yellow trinket. I also do the passive trick here, wherein once I recall, I use my first skill, and before it expires, I use it again until my first skill goes on cooldown. So what this does is that I would have 3 stacks on my passive by the time the first camp spawns, and once I'm able to use my 3 stacks, my first skill would be up again, so I would be able to have a total of 6 stacks when clearing the first buff. So this makes my clear significantly faster than normal. So now I do the clear that I'm doing right now is the red side clear, where I go for my red buff, Krugs, Raptor, then Flex, depending on what happens on the map. So far, DAWNBRINGER RIVEN looks very nice and looks smooth. Don't forget to turn off your dash and move direction when you're playing Riven, because this is very helpful, especially when you want to do the stay in place first skill. So if you use your first skill, you would usually dash forward, but if you have it off, you would easily be able to use your first skill in place. So once I finish the Raptors, I look what happens on the map. So far, I haven't seen their jungler yet, so they could either be top side or bot side. I look at the lane states, and I see that my bot is having a bit of a priority, so I go for the bot's cut instead. So once I start it, Olaf looks for the contest, and normally I would lose the 1v1 here, but I see that Jhin was able to help me. So we take down the Olaf. We see the Olaf smite. I smite also. I take down the Scuttler. But I am a bit cornered as Ezreal was able to burst me. So it was a 1-for-2 exchange in favor of the opponents. Nami got caught as well, so it wasn't the most favorable trade, and this goes to show how strong Olaf is. Even in a 1v2 situation, he was almost able to take me down. So now I go for the wolves instead of the top cut because I know that Olaf has priority over me, and I chose to play it a bit safe. And another thing is that look at their composition. Their composition is a very strong Olaf-oriented composition wherein they have Shen shields as well as the Yuumi heals. So this would be very annoying to deal with later on. Luckily, Olaf didn't take the top cut, so I'm able to get this. And once I reach level 5, Shen tries to go for the contest. I try to force Shen's skills, get a good stun, and poke Shen a bit. Unfortunately, I'm not able to burn the flash, so I go for the Krugs instead. So the reason why I go for the Krugs is because I know that Olaf is in the bot side since he started on the red side, and most likely he would just be making his way here, which is on point. I'm able to take 2 of Krugs. I try to poke the Shen a bit, so I force the flash, and I know this is worth. Olaf goes for the engage, takes down our set with a Shen ulti as well. So it wasn't the best decision because they were able to get a kill out of it. So really hard start. I was forced to use my ulti as well. I thought I could go for the trade, and look at my ulti. So when Riven uses ultimate, her armor turns gold, which is a very neat addition for the skin, and which is why this skin is counted as a legendary skin. So later, when I use my ultimate, just look at Riven and how on the color that she shows. So now what I'm doing is I'm clearing my buffs. I know that I'm a bit behind in the early game, so most likely when the buffs spawn, rather the objectives, I would go for the trade. Luckily, I'm able to get a kill. It's a really nice looking recall. And I'm able to get Black Cleaver in the 4-minute mark, which is decent. And now my bot cap spawn. So what I want to do is to clear my camps, then most probably go for the Rift Herald unless there is something good that happens with my laners. So while clearing my buffs, you would always want to look at the state of the map. Top side is a bit pushed, bot side is a bit pushed as well, so it's looking like I don't have priority in any of my lanes. So I wait on the side. The opponents might greed a bit. I hide behind the ward, and once Ezreal makes a mistake, he plays a bit greedy. I immediately go for the punish. We take down Ezreal, but unfortunately Olaf was also there, so he goes for the punish, and he gets a 3-for-1 exchange. Another great exchange for them. Every time I'm able to get a kill, they're able to get more. So things are looking really bad, especially with an Olaf, who is a very snowbally champion. If you pair it with a Yuumi and a Shen, it's gonna be very hard to stop the Olaf. So they start a dragon, and I decided we might be able to contest this because their Olaf is low mana and they have no more ultimate. I go in with my Q3. Yasuo goes for the engage. Olaf is far, and with the R2 plus smite, I'm able to take down the dragon. We go for the Yasuo. The opponents are a bit out of position. Then we go for them one by one. Ezreal decides to arcane shift inside, and we immediately punish the opponents. So Olaf comes for the cleanup. So luckily, Olaf decided to go back. I think he had no more mana, so he had to play a bit safe, and we get our tempo back. Because if they won the dragon fight, most likely the game would have been over. So once Olaf goes for the Herald, I try to check if I could contest. I'm thinking if I could go for a steal, then immediately go back, because in this stage of the game, we're a bit behind. We're not yet ahead. So Shen does a great flash taunt. I try to smite, but I'm not able to get it. I use my Q3 to be able to escape, to hop over walls. Echo goes for the catch. He's able to take down Shen and Yuumi. I look at the side just in case I could help my team, but decide against it and just farm my camps instead. So not the best trade. It's a 2-for-1, but they're able to get Herald. But it's okay because since we're playing Riven, where we have a good scaling champion, we're able to get the early kills that we need and we're placed in a position where we could possibly carry the game. So all of my camps are up. I decide to go for my camps unless someone overextends. I want to get level 9 to be able to have a stronger ultimate and with faster cooldown. I know that Yasuo is gonna try to hit the Scryer's Bloom. So we go for the punish. We take down the Yasuo. Then Ezreal tries to greet bot side. Jhin Yuumi gets a good trade. I try to block the Olaf so he would not be able to help my team. We go for the 2v1 again, but since Olaf is quite strong, I flashed for safety, but in hindsight, I could have just went for the all-in and tried to kill Olaf. So I wasted my ultimate, but overall, we're able to get kills over the place. Our Jhin Nami was able to take down the Ezreal as well as we got the Olaf as well. Yuumi decides to play a bit greedy and try to defend the tower. Go for the punish. And this is what's good about Riven is that once you complete your Black Cleaver and you have your Hunter Genius stacks, the cooldown of your skills are really fast and it's very spammable. So you would be able to easily catch those who are running away from you. So the next item that I would go for here is Sunder, which would not only give me more ability haste, it will also give me more damage and durability, which would allow me to last longer in team fights. So Ezreal does a greed, tries to be greedy. Unfortunately, is not able to take down the Nami. Olaf suddenly pops right on front of me. I wanted to try to catch the Yuumi, so I had to play a bit safe. We try to outplay the Olaf by jumping over the wall. I still have my ultimate. I go for the kill, but Shen has his ulti, which is unlucky, and it goes to show how strong their comp with Olaf is. So not only does the Olaf have heals, he also has shield with Shen. So we get a trade. We take down their Baron lane, which is not the worst trade of all. But they're also able to get our mid tower and possibly the bot tower instead. So Echo does a great job trying to buy time for our team. Olaf, Nami does a great combo with the ulti plus bubble. Most likely we would be able to take him down. Flash in by both of our teammates. We take down the Olaf. Yumi's alone at the bot side. Go for the Shen. And while they're fighting, I'm just clearing my red buff because I know I wouldn't be able to reach them in time. So when playing Riven, you would always want to clear your camps because since you clear fast, you're also a carry, which means that you want your items as soon as possible. So Shen overextends, so I go for the ulti, go for the punish. Shen gets a taunt off. I try to chase. Great snare by Jhin. Go for the Q animation cancel. The ult animation cancel. We take down the Yuumi plus Shen. And once Olaf goes in, he has no more support from the backside. But all of our skills are on cooldown. I try to take down the Olaf before going down. Unfortunately, we lose the team fight because Seth was late in the fight. And it was a 5v4. Essentially a 5v4. So things did not go as well as planned. So now that the dragon has spawned again and they're able to win the team fight, most likely they would be able to get the dragon. So I tell my team that we would go for the herald instead. So I buy stasis, which is a very good item against Olaf because if we get focused fired by the Yasuo or Olaf, I could just go for the stasis and try to buy time for my team to clean up. Once I see Ezreal bottom, I'm feeling a bit more confident that we could start the objective because it would be a 5v4 if Olaf decides to contest this. So while starting the objective, I want to pull the Herald. Seth randomly goes for the ults, tries to buy time, and I go for the catch onto the Herald. Shen goes for the ulti on the Olaf. We catch the Shen out. Then we go for the Olaf. That's out of position. We kite him a lot. Jhin was able to great kiting, go for the punish, try to get the Yasuo as well with my first plus flash. Yasuo gets an ult onto me, but my team is there for the help, and we get a great fight there. So what we want to do is try to bait their spells and kite Olaf as much as possible. Once Shen's ulti is got down, once Shen, Yuumi, and Olaf's ultimates are down, that's when we could go for the fight, and that's when it will be favorable for us. So if they get a good engage, it would look bad. But if we're able to outlast them, and the longer the team fight goes, the more it will be favorable for us. So now that I have my Sunder, I have my Stasis, I am going for the Death's Dance to make myself more tankier, as well as having more damage potential. So I have a lot of cooldown in my kit. So if you could see, 20 ability hits from the Cleaver, 20 ability hits from the Sunder, 10 from the Death's Dance, as well as 15 from the Hunter Genius, assuming I'm able to get full stack. So that's a lot of cooldown, and a lot of which makes my the cooldown of my skills really low and very spammable. Yasuo face checks, go for the immediate punish. Great Wind Wall. I try to go for the chase. I see that 4 of them are at the top side. I know that Yasuo is alone. I have my cooldowns, and look how fast the cooldowns of my skill. We easily catch the Yasuo. I had to use my ultimate to secure the kill, because if I didn't catch the Yasuo there, he would be able to ulti on the tower, and he might be able to outplay us. So I used the Herald mid to try to take down the tower, because the mid tower is still up. Very important. And now that I have my level 13, this is a very important power spike for Riven. So my team decides to play a bit aggressive. They get punished for it. I try to help my team, but it's a very bad decision for me to try and help my team, because I ended up going down as well. I wanted Seth to try and help, but I don't know what he was doing. Kinda inting. He late again in the team fight, but it happens. So moral lesson is that try to know when to help and know when to leave. So they weren't able to get the Baron, which is good for us, because if they're able to get a Baron out of that, it would be very hard, because their comp has great scaling as well with the Yasuo and Ezreal. So Seth goes for the engage. I don't know why. I'm still down. Jhin is still far away, so our damage would be coming from the Echo. Seth as Guardian Angel. I try my best to respond to help my team, but it's too late. My team was caught in a very, very bad position, and they were very greedy trying to catch people from taking the Baron. So you could have just disengaged and tried to fight at a later time. So now I go for the top side. I know that they most probably went back to base. Shen is out of position. I try to go for the catch, and I go for the combo onto Shen. I wait for the second skill to disappear. Flash in. I play a bit greedy. We take down the Shen, but Olaf, Yuumi, Ezreal was able to go for the punish. Their team was completed. So I got a bit greedy and got punished for it. So it happens. And now they're taking Baron. Supposedly, this would be a fair fight, because it would be a 4v4. Even though we don't have a jungler, they should be able to try and contest. Best case scenario, we would be able to remove their Baron buff. Seth goes for the ultimate onto the Yasuo. Yasuo flashes in. They try to get the Baron. Echo tries to go for the steal. It's not able to get it. But Jhin, Nami doing a great job getting kills. So we take down 4 of them, which is very good for us. So even though I get taken down, even though they get Baron, we're able to take out 4 Baron buffs from their team. I think Shen is the only one that has the Baron buff. And now we go for the Dragon to try and trade with the opposing team. So this would be free. I wall hop over the wall. Then take the Dragon. I look at the positioning of Shen. He's just clearing the mid. So this is the point where Riven really shines. So Riven's power spike is when you have 3 items and level 13. Once you get your Black Cleaver, Sunder, as well as your Death's Dance, then have your level 3 ultimate, this is when your power spike will really go high. The only problem is when you're not able to freely hit the opponent, or if you're kited well. So I take the red buff because Jhin doesn't benefit that much from the red buff, because he's not an auto attack type, and I would benefit from this more since I have more damage output. So Olaf goes for the gank top. I think Seth forced the flash. Yes, yeah, Seth had to flash there. I tried to split push bot because I know at this stage no one can 1v1 me. I would win almost all of the duels. The only thing that I have to be worried about is the Shen ultimate, because if I decide to 1v1 Olaf, I should expect Shen ultimate, and it wouldn't be favorable for me if Shen would show himself as well because of his shield as well as the second skill. Ezreal tries to go for the engage. I think he ints a bit. We force the Shen ultimate. I know that their ADC is down, so I engage on the Olaf. I have my stasis to buy time. Jhin tries to kite the Olaf, but there's a Yuumi behind. He also has Righteous Glory. Jhin gets taken down. We burn Olaf's ultimate. We take down the Yuumi as well. And once Olaf responds, great bubble by Nami. We get a 3-for-1 exchange and a great opportunity to try to push mid. So the only ones that are left are the Shen with no ultimate and the Yasuo, who is currently 1-5. So I look for the engage. Even though I tank the tower, I'm very tanky. Great bubble by Nami. I combine it with my stun as well as the ultimate. We get a double kill. Very clean fight. And this is when we end the game. So this is the GG push. Ezreal is spawning, but it's too late. We take down the Nexus, and a great game. Overall, even though their composition was very annoying with the double shields, the shield and the heals, we're able to do a lot of outplays and get the win. So we get MVP, 100% Riven, really great game. We played the best that we could. 14-6-8, not the best scoreline, but it's decent enough knowing that their comp is annoying. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out. Ciao, ciao. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.